Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Accidentally Informed.
Well, we're happy to be in 2026, the year of the horse.
Ooh, I hope I get a stallion this year.
Ooh.
Yes.
I mean, after today's show, I don't know if you want one. Although during the break, since this is the first show of the year,
it is.
I saw you were the word on the street about your message to your younger self when it comes to romance. So we'll sprinkle that in too. We'll sprinkle that in with our Mm-hmm.
I said nothing wrong, and so many baby Kevin Samuel Jr.'s tried to take something negative from what I said, which some people, the evolved people, said, "Oh wow, that was really taking accountability. That was smart. I like what you said. It was good advice." And then the mouth breathers on YouTube, "Oh well, bitch, you should have chose someone regular back when you was hot, and now you hit the wall." And Kevin Samuels is right. I'm like, Kevin Samuels died single in an apartment with a bunch of Red Bulls around him. Knock it off. And I'm not happy that he died. Joe, let me put that out there right now. I'm not, but knock it off. You're bastardizing both of our messages, because he actually held men accountable too, but they don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about the negative stuff towards women.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he also was telling you little men out here that y'all need to get your shit together. And if you don't make a certain amount of money and you're not successful, you shouldn't even be out here dating. You skip over that part of his messaging. And what I said was, I think it was normal what I said. I mean, you do think the supply is endless. That's men and women, because men also fumble great women as well,
right,
and think they can spin the block later with the hairline all the way back, the stomach sticking out, and miserable and grouchy old men. I think people fumble people. Let's do that. How about that?
Yeah. Yes. Well, we're going to get into it, because we're going to be talking about, is having a boyfriend embarrassing, later in the show.
Jesus Christ.
So I just wanted to throw that in there, because I was like, Claudia knows she can get into some.
I was spending every day. I was in someone's blog. It was crazy. But anyways, coming up on today's episode, a deadly ICE shooting has people demanding answers and calling a cap on the official story. Also, the internet is arguing over a preacher's wife's dress, because apparently modesty is still a public debate. Plus, is having a boyfriend embarrassing, especially now? And one celebrity calls out her toxic friend group, sparking a conversation a lot of us are feeling. We're going to get into all that and much more. All right, Erica, how was your New Year's?
I mean, my New Year's was great. It was very, very low key. My girlfriend, who we've been friends since she was in the 8th grade. I'm a year older than her, and she still lives in Chicago, and her family came to Denver, and my brother and his family came over. So we had the littles, and we just did the black eyed peas, collard greens, all of the New Year's Eve, good luck food. So, which was kind of a last minute, turnaround, because I didn't realize that chicken is a no-no on New Year's Eve.
Says who?
Chickens walk backwards. They have backwards movement, they claw backwards. So anything that claws backwards means that you are staying stuck or reverting in the new year. So you should stay away from chicken. There's something about shrimp, crab, all of those things. So we ended up having pork, and pork, cabbage, collards, black-eyed peas. And we did all of the food that you're supposed to eat in order to make sure that you have a prosperous and very financially abundant new year.
Damn, I messed that up, because I made some snow crab legs, my honey garlic snow crab legs, on New Year's Eve. Okay. No. I went out to Gary Owens. He had a comedy show in Dallas. It was really good. I was supposed to be in Ghana. I couldn't get a flight back, so I didn't bother going, and I wouldn't have been able to return to yesterday, pretty much.
Wow.
And so I just went to, and I stayed in Dallas. Then I was going to go to St. Croix for Carnival, and I didn't do anything. I had all these days off for work, and half of it was spent with the flu after Vegas. And then it was 10 days of the flu, the worst flu I've ever had in my life.
Oh my God. Didn't I tell you to sit down? You're going to get sat down. So at least you got some rest, right?
I am skinny now. I did lose some weight. Yeah. I definitely lost some weight. So I'm like small. I'm little now.
There's other ways that you can lose weight than having a deadly flu.
Trizepatide. And
That's true. That's
yeah, yay. All right. Let's get into it. First up, on a somber note, changing gears here. A 37-year-old woman was shot and killed by an ICE officer this morning in South Minneapolis, and the official story is already being called into question. City leaders say she was a U.S. citizen, a legal observer, and not the target of any ICE arrests. Witnesses say federal agents blocked her vehicle, tried to open her door, and after the car moved, 3 shots were fired. Homeland Security is calling it domestic terrorism, but the Minneapolis mayor called that narrative, quote, bullshit, with Governor Tim Walz adding, don't believe this propaganda machine. Erica, when video witnesses and elected officials all dispute the federal story, what are people supposed to trust? And is it dangerous to label civilians terrorists this fast? What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. We have every opportunity to label domestic terrorism when people walk in and shoot up schools and concerts. And we have every opportunity to label domestic terrorism when we're talking about incel clusters. But we don't choose to do that because that doesn't fit the narrative based on who the profile is. So when we're talking about ICE, and it's still very unclear, like, is this something that is protected under the Constitution? And that's a no. So the idea that we have agents out there who apparently have carte blanche to do whatever they wish to do is already eroding the trust in our judicial system and in our government. So in terms of who to trust, like at this point, we as citizens can only trust ourselves.
You know, this woman was shot in the face 3 times. Okay. Multiple times in the face. A woman that was an observer. This is the 5th person that's been killed by ICE that we know of. The way they are recruiting unqualified, unstable, angry, bitter, racist people. ICE is a new KKK. They are looking to recruit people that are patriotic, that are gun enthusiasts. They are picking up where the KKK left off. That's what they're doing. So these people are gun happy, trigger happy. There was one ICE agent that I was watching on MSNBC today that said, I put gun bullets in her, boys, or something like that about another case. Like they're bragging on shooting women. And not that a woman's life is more valuable than a man's. I don't mean that, but I'm just saying that like woman was not a threat. The president in quotes, tried to lie and put the narrative out that she was trying to run over an ICE agent and that the ICE agent was in the hospital recovering and was really injured badly. There's video all over the internet of said ICE agent walking away from this, no problems. It's disgusting that depending on the side you are politically, that anything goes. It's the Wild Wild West. And if you're on the other side, there's no protection. We have a president and an administration that is only the president for people that agree with him. And it's F you to everybody else. And it's so sad. It's so sad.
We have an administration that's pay to play. And it's pay based on resource of money or of resource of blind loyalty. It really begs the question to a lot of people who are not speaking up for justice, for our Constitution, for our constituent or for the constituency as a whole. What do some of these people in power have over you? Because the math is just not mathing. I don't believe that these stories that we're hearing between everything from Epstein to people getting rich off of really the US government, I don't think any of these things are independent of one another. When it comes down to it, all of this is the monetization and propaganda for people who are blindly loyal to a person. So it really begs the question, what happens when that person is no longer in power? What is the next move? Because to have people driving down the street in their neighborhoods and being shot in the face, what I can't even it's like you can't even make sense of what has happened to this country. But to be quite honest, especially as someone who, and I say that I remind people who might be new to me that I was in a position of doing a national daytime talk show for 7 years. We were live 50 weeks a day. So the news cycles was like every single day. I'm absorbing all of these different things. And it's like we saw this coming for so long. And I think a lot of people are like just getting to the idea that their head was in the sand at the time when it was the most critical.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I mean, there's no law and order. Where are the checks and balances?
Congress is not going to do anything. The people are going to have to act. Unfortunately, it's going to have to fall on the people, and y'all can take that however you like. But the people made their voices known January 6th. And I think the other side needs to make their voices known and heard what they want, because we have a rogue government right now. Trump has enriched himself so much. He's taken all of our money. He's so petty. They just cut $10 billion in funding to blue states. You dumb ass. You don't think some Republicans are in these blue states? California is one of the states. He's not funding welfare and a bunch of stuff there. So in your quest to hurt blue states, you will hurt some of your supporters. And your supporters have already shown they are violent. They will take to the streets, and they will not put up with this. I see huge civil unrest happening. But then again, that's what he wants. We can say, martial law, I'm not getting out of here. And then people better do something about that as well. We can't keep this up. The whole administration is corrupt and needs to go. And we have no Justice Department. We have we have protection and people that are just kissing Trump's ass. And it's disgusting to see what our country has turned into.
It's like, it's difficult.
Get mad, people.
But here's the thing. It's what is leadership anymore? It's like there are people, and I'm not saying that everyone in our government is corrupt. Obviously, that is not the case. I'm not saying that everyone in our government isn't a good leader. I think that a lot of the great leaders are in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, if people if you can't agree that it's 90 degrees outside, no clouds anywhere, clear skies, and you can't agree that the sky is blue, then what are you it's like, how do you even find a baseline? It's the erosion of the truth. Everything is up for question. I don't, it's like, I want to say I don't understand how we got here, but I know exactly how we got here. And unfortunately, a lot of it falls on the apathy of the citizens of the US. Like, a lot of people felt like they were in a marked safe category. And so it's like, I know I'm going to mess this up, but like the saying, like, when they came for this group and no one stood up, then they came for this group. And then by the time they came for you, there was no one to stand up for you.
Oh, when they came for the communists, you're like, oh, I'm not a communist. And when they came for the next, oh, I'm not that person. And then when they came for you, there was no one to speak for you. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. And all we do is repost something and be like, can you believe? And then we just go back to our lives, because we're all in survival mode right now. Everyone's money is funny right now. They got us by the balls. They got people just trying to out here, just barely surviving. Prices up, wages down, stress out, anxiety. You don't have the luxury. We can't even sit on a story long enough for us to galvanize around it, because another story comes the next day. It's like constantly being hit with wave after wave after wave after wave. And they want it like that. Complete chaos in 10 months, 11 months. Well, no, a year now. Complete chaos. And we can never, like, there's so many big stories that have happened that are not getting any attention, because they're doing a million things. And get Tim Miller's demonic, evil ass out of here. The way that this man is, it's like, he's brought back racism. I mean, we always had it, but he's made it so front and center. And he just gives little dick energy, and you're mad at the world. It's not our fault, Tim Muller. It's not our fault that you're hideous. It's not our fault that you weren't genetically blessed. So you blame it on immigrants? Blame your parents. Aren't your parents white? They made you. You turned out trashy. You're mad at us, the world, for how you turned out? And your wife cheated on you with Elon Musk? Get out of here, dude. I'm sick of all of them. I really am. I have this hat. Oh, I'll probably get shot for this. Make America pay reparations. How about that one?
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine that we were so close to this a few years ago, but now we're at a point where they don't even want us to have civil rights. Texas, where I live, they're trying to close up all the offices of civil rights. So you can't even have a complaint. You have to go federal. It takes years.
Yeah.
Texas is a testing ground for all these other states. I will be moving soon. I don't know where. Whoo, girl, we can do a whole show on politics. But anyways, moving on. NFL star Stefon Diggs is facing strangulation charges. And while the internet is split, one person is not going anywhere, Cardi B. She's publicly standing by him. And you know, social media has opinions. Some say it's loyalty. Others say it's a red flag parade with confetti. Erica, where's the line between riding for your man and ignoring serious allegations? And why do we always expect women to answer for men's mess?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, she's not named anywhere in that suit. So it's really the dog piling on of her. It's like people, and I mean, granted, like, do we want to hear that you're pregnant by someone who has multiple other people pregnant? Is that a great look? No, it's not. Is it any of our business? No, it's not. But then it's like, there's this narrative that's being built. It's like, first, it's this part, because obviously what we really should be looking at, just backtracking, is any time you are being hyped up in the social media streets, it's just a preparation to be torn down, because the Cardi B angle and the Stefon Diggs angle, to me, are mutually exclusive, because this is not her case. Now, then it goes to what the case is. Now, obviously, he has been accused of very serious charges. I don't know what the appropriate response is if you are the partner of someone who is being accused of something like this. I think there's a reason why a lot of people generally in the public eye will say it's a court case, it's a legal matter, I can't speak on it. Because until we know all the facts of the case, and I'm not trying to neutralize the facts of the case. I don't know if this man put his hands on this woman or not. If he did, he should suffer the consequences for it. But we don't know any of it, because the story has now become basically a narrative in order to make Cardi B look stupid, which is like two completely different stories.
I mean, he's getting more attention because he is Cardi B's partner.
Right.
And she's getting the smoke because he's her partner. And then you have people that are like, on the other side that doesn't like Cardi, right? That has their favorite rapper is not Cardi. And they're like loving this. It sucks that, your man is accused of something, whether he did it or not, we will find out. But it's on you, and you get the extra smoke. When she's out here preparing for her tour, working her behind up, being a great mom. Cardi's Cardi and Stefon is Stefon. The way he is not to be held responsible for anything that she's accused of, likewise.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise. And like, get off Cardi's back. Like, get off her back. Now, you can criticize and say, oh, her choice in men. But guess what? Everybody watching this show has had some bad choices in men, including me. We've all done it, and when you're in it, it's so hard to see it, but time will tell.
Time will tell. But at the end of the day, it is a very transparent narrative. Like, is that a big story? Yes, of course. He's connected with Cardi B. Cardi B is a major superstar. People are very invested in her and her story and all these things. However, remember when we were talking about him renting out castles and everybody was like, oh, Cardi deserves this. And it was this whole big thing. It's like, that's the reason why people are always told, like, don't believe your own hype. And then also don't believe your own slander. It's like it just, you have to live in this space. But at the end of the day, that's a lot for one person, period. I don't know if the man is guilty or not. I just know that whatever happened has nothing to do with Cardi unless she was in a situation where she aided and abetted him,
Yeah.
or if she was trying to cover his tracks, or if she antagonized like something where she was actively involved in what he's being accused of. But no one cares at the end of the day who's talking about this if he's innocent or guilty. What they care about is that she looks bad for choosing him.
And I can see if this stuff happened first and then she got with him. That's something else. And he's found guilty and then you get with them, it's like, oh, how can you get with a woman beater? Right. But she got with them before this. So I don't know. We'll see. I like Cardi, and I really hope that she gets loved properly and she's in a very healthy relationship. I don't want this to be the case. And Stefon, as high profile as you are, your profile's been elevated being with Cardi. If there's any truth to this, you gotta reel it in, sir. You got to move in a different way when your profile's elevated even more. Not that you should ever be doing any of this stuff,
Right.
but even
Right.
more of a reason is damaging your brand and the woman that you allegedly care about and love.
That's the thing. If the story is true, then it's a much bigger problem, because if a man's going to strangle any woman, then it's only a matter of time before he's going to turn on you.
I mean, a man that strangles a woman that's a serious issue right there. I want to know about the whole why didn't he pay her allegedly? Like, what happened? I feel like there's more to the story than just he didn't pay his chef. Why would he not pay his chef? What else happened before that? There's something else going on here.
Well, also, it's like, here's the thing. And it's like, we can run as anyone. It doesn't matter if you have a large platform, a small platform. People are running with narratives all the time. Oftentimes, the narratives are coming from our own lived experience. It's like the probability of this happening really is, in your mind, is based on your experience with a situation like this in some capacity, whether you were a victim, whether you were an assailant, whether you were a witness, whether you just keep hearing about it because you're in proximity to it. So when we hear these stories and we're like, okay, well, if it's true versus if it's not true. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of different narratives that could potentially be happening here. And so it's always a tricky situation to talk specifically about legal cases when we don't have a depth of knowledge about this person. And so when we think about people were very quick to rush to judgment, it's almost like the idea of like, people say you're an overnight success, but it took you 10 years to get there, because it's all the stuff that's been simmering in order to get you to this success. But in a situation like this, we don't know him. Like, we know him through the lens of her. If we had more depth on his background and it seemed like it was a pattern of behavior, that would be a different story. That's the reason why I feel like pinning this all as a narrative on Cardi B is so detrimental, because we don't have anything else to work with in terms of who this man is.
He has a few allegations out there. I will say that. And, but convicted of anything? No, he is not. Christina 6104 says, I didn't know my ex-fiance was a wife beater until he started beating me. That's when his mom finally told me he was beating his ex-wife. Ugh.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And but here's, when you brought up, Claudia, the idea that, if you know someone to be violent or to have any type of character like that, and you decide that you are going to get into a relationship with them, then yes, you are actively making your probability of becoming a victim much higher. People don't just change because the person changes. The pattern doesn't change. It's the idea that they need help or prison or both. But when you don't know and you end up like Christine here, it's like, at that point, you have to go with what you know. And that's just unfortunately the truth.
And once you know better, you better do better, or we cannot have empathy for you. But until we know that, then we will have to err on the side of caution when it comes to Cardi and be like, all right, because she's probably like, God damn it, I'm just had a baby, I'm going through all this, and I'm finding out this, if it's true or if it's not true, that stress, I don't wish that on anybody.
See, I struggle with the empathy thing because it's like, I understand if you are in a situation where you're being violated in some way, like in a domestic partnership. And a lot of people, men and women, struggle to get out because there is, also financial ties to it in terms of you're not only being physically assaulted, but you're also being financially abused. There's, child custody issues. There's all of these things that could potentially happen. So it's like, it's hard to just paint these situations with such a broad brush because there are people who are literally dying to get out. But then there are people who find themselves like almost like a Stockholm syndrome, or sometimes people like, feed into this lifestyle for whatever reason. It's like there's so much nuance to these situations that it's like difficult to talk about when you really don't have all of the facts.
Well, we will definitely stay abreast of this story when we get new information. And if he is guilty, we will definitely drag him. And if he's innocent, we will drag y'all that are dragging her for what this man was accused of. Okay? All right. Let's get into this viral church discourse. The internet is arguing over a preacher's wife's dress, calling it too tight, too sexy, and too much. Meanwhile, she's just standing there existing fabulously. Erica, why is a woman's body still a community project? And why does modesty only seem to apply to women and never the men preaching it? What do you think?
This is like, first of all, the first lady's name is Carrie, for starters. Like,
Dr. Carrie.
Sorry?
Dr. Carrie.
Dr. Carrie. Like, everyone's like, oh, Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife. She got a name, y'all. Dr. Carrie. Okay. Yeah, it's first of all, when did it become illegal to be a pious baddie? I want to be a pious baddie.
Wait, what's pious mean?
Like devout. Like you're devout, you're a religious, like, person. You consider yourself a follower of Christ. Like,
yeah, I don't know that word.
Baddie.
You what? You want to be one, you said?
Yes, I want to be a pious baddie. I think that there is a lane to be pious and poppin'. Okay.
Yeah, but there's so much hypocrisy in the church. And I can't stand that because I'm, of course, a spiritual person. Of course, I believe in God and Jesus and all of that. But like the humans have corrupted it so much. Like there's so much hypocrisy talking about this woman's dress and what she had on with her husband at the mayor's ball in Atlanta, which I was supposed to be at, but I was sick. But like, and a lot of these people that are criticizing Dr. Carrie, I guarantee you are sinners. I guarantee you have a lot of stuff in their own backyard. That's an issue. The problem is she's curvy and y'all hate a baddie. Y'all hate a voluptuous Black woman that looks good. If she was obese, y'all would be saying, oh, yes, queen. Yes, you did that. If she was super skinny and had no ass, she ain't got no body. She's straight, she had a boy body. But this woman is curvy and it makes y'all feel away. It makes y'all, no matter what she wore, she was going to get attention, okay? A turtleneck up to here. That body is bodying. There's also when Pastor Bryant was addressing the church and defending his wife, which I really like that. She had this red conservative outfit on, fully covered, and a belt with that snatch waist. And she was still giving Coke bottle body, Instagram model body, but I believe real. And she was just like, no matter what that woman puts on, she's going to look sexy. The dress wasn't see-through. Okay. Not grow up. Grow up. The dress wasn't see-through. She had the cups extra high. You didn't see the cleavage. She's out with her husband. I think as a married woman, whether you're a woman, your man's a man of the cloth or whatever, when you go out date night with your husband and you go to a ball, you should jazz it up. She gonna go home with her husband. Y'all doing too much.
There was a period of about 10 years that I never wore shorts because I was shamed for, like, I had a very, like, they used to call me String Bean in junior high. And I would wear the same things that my friends would wear, but the shorts were so short on me that it became like something that I was very overly sexualized for at a very young age. And as a result, I would be like the only kid who wouldn't wear shorts during the summer.
Mhm.
And it's like this idea of your body and how things are, how you look in certain things. Some people are just going to look a certain way because that's what their body gives. At the end of the day, I don't see anything wrong with her dress. Also, this is the reason why so many people have turned away from organized religion, because you are constantly under a microscope for choices that aren't even, I mean, what I can't understand it. This is the reason why I only attend TikTok church. Okay. I only listen to my TikTok Christians who are delivering the word. This young lady, I wish I knew her name. I wish I find, if I can find her, she is so great. She uses analogies about like fast food, and she talks about like scripture through the lens of like volleyball, and like if you say you got it, I have to give this girl a shout out. She's so good. She's so great. Yeah, this is the reason why, because people are looking for the word, but they're looking for the word without a bunch of words about things that don't matter, because you feel some type of way because you're a hypocrite and a hater that is being completely cloaked in the word of God, quote unquote, in order to be a hypocrite and a hater. Don't cloak yourself in God and Christianity just to be a complete ass.
Did you see the bishop that went on and said that Pastor Brian presented his wife like a $2 whore? Did you see that?
I did not, but I
A
can
bishop
imagine what he
said
looks
that
like.
about her. He said that about a man's wife. A bishop, like
I bet you I can paint a picture of what he looked like.
church is getting so ghetto, and that is giving reality TV vibes. Like, why would you say that about her?
Well, because people like, I really want to give this girl a shout out. Oh, here she is. Her name is Sydney, Cydney. It's Sydney Mitchell 22 on TikTok. She is so good. The way she talks about scripture in like everyday reality, it's amazing. She's
Okay.
amazing.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like you are using your cape, you're using the cape of Christ in order to be a shitty person, is what's happening here. And I'm sorry, no one gets any passes, because at the end of the day, there's too much politics and bureaucracy in organized religion. That's the reason why a lot of people have turned away from organized religion. If you want to constantly be torn down, scrutinized by people who are hypocrites, doing the same thing in the dark, but pretending like they're not in the light, nobody has time for that. And then on top of it, you're going to pass a plate so that I can pay you my hard-earned money in order to keep a roof over this head? Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm sure there are great churches, and I'm not saying, I know it's not all churches.
You know.
There are great churches. However, historically speaking, this has been a generational curse that people have had hyper empathy towards and have lessened and reduced their light in order to conform to a system that is meant to destroy them and their Christianity. I do not like it, and I'm not going to condone it. So if you have a problem with the way that the first lady was dressed, then maybe you should divert your eyes.
I'm disappointed in a lot of Christianity right now. The way it's being bastardized and used. I mean, the KKK uses Christianity to justify what they do and their discrimination and killings and colonizing and stealing from people. Stop misusing the teachings of Jesus. Please stop. Because I'm not even recognizing these religious groups anymore, like the way they are moving, especially in America. And bigger picture with women, like I'm just so sick of people making indictments on a woman's entire character based on an outfit she may want to wear. I'm so sick and tired of it. It has just been, I'm so irritated from people on their high horses having so much to say. Like, a woman can't do shit right by some of y'all.
Well,
You dress
y'all,
too
you would
sexy.
know you just experienced this
Oh my God.
with the beautiful group of women that you were with in Vegas.
I went to Vegas with Tracy Evans. I invited Gwendolyn Smith Osborne. She was the ex-wife of Kenny Smith, the basketball player, and Rada. My good friend Rada came through, and we were told it's dress up, it's black tie, whatever. We went, we put gowns on. I mean, people were in gowns, but it was a Jeezy concert version of black tie. You know what I mean? Like it's glittery, but there was still some sexy stuff. But people would dress up more. We ran into Dr. Bryant, who had a lace bodysuit with some green undergarments. Body was banging. You can make your argument whether you believe it was appropriate or not. I won't even argue with that. That is on you. You can have that. I will say, okay. But some of the indictments that they put on the entire group of women, it really went far left. Where I was criticized saying I have fake boobs and I'm a liar about my body. Corey Holcomb was like really coming for our necks, and I hit him up and we talked, and he was very, very kind and complimentary on the phone. But then the energy when we went back on the show was basically, I had to look for her number. Boy, bye. I should have recorded the conversation, but I didn't because I thought that was my friend. So, but he went back on a show to double down and show video of us playing around, like pretend slapping each other. Like one was this dance like that. No one was really slapping ass, and said that I lied about my body being real, about my breast being real. The day I have to lie to a Corey Holcomb about my body or to anybody on the internet, I need to just go in hiding. Okay. And me, as a very pretty natural girl, besides that, I got some micro links in and some lash clusters. Other than that, I'm pretty real. And I resent that. I work hard at my fitness, my body. Everyone knows this as a former runner. And it was just irritating how you're being triggered by her outfit, and whether or not it was appropriate or not, fine, you can have that. But then to put that indictment on everyone's character, like we just ain't shit. You're not allowed to be. You're not allowed to be more than one thing. If you want to be respected in the world, you better always have you better be like this every time. And if we can see the shape of your body, you're still a hoe. You're a hoe. You're a whore. And her outfit became, none of us can hold down a home or hold down a man. Like that's a life goal right now with how embarrassing some of these Negroes are behaving. It's not. And Corey Holcomb, you don't have a wife. You don't have a wife. And I wasn't going to say your name tonight, but for you to sit there and judge a woman's success of how valuable she is as a human being on whether or not she can hold down a household, you didn't hold down yours. Where's your wife? You and your daughter got beef? And I thought we were friends, but fuck you now, okay? I don't like how it just, like, I called him because I didn't like all my friends being dragged into this. I'm very protective of my friends, especially friends that are never in mess. I didn't like that, and it irritated me. And you can, like, again, you have your right to not like what someone had on. You have your right to say it wasn't appropriate. But guess what? At the end of the day, it is a free country. Just like you can wear the same hats all the time and have a very wide back and have a very sloppy body and dress the way you dress, she can have a very sexy body and dress sexy. Did I wear it? No. But that's her fucking prerogative. I need people to start getting back to minding the business that pays them. How about that for 2026? How about not calling someone a whore or a bitch because you don't like what one of the girls has on? I just feel like it went too far. You can have a conversation about inappropriateness of someone's clothes without just spraying everybody. And that was my point.
See, listen, here's the thing. And I love that point because I didn't see anything wrong with what she was wearing. And honestly, the way that it went so far, again, people need to remember that when you are, especially when you're someone who is speaking commentary, like you can say whatever you want to say. I'm not trying to police people for their opinions, but just know that when you say things, it's a reflection of your insecurity or confidence. And quite frankly, if you're going that hard in the paint over some woman that you aren't with and what they're wearing and the indictment on their ability to have a household or hold down a home or a man or whatever, it's really very telling about who you are and your insecurities.
It gives
You
misery.
know,
Like, it
it's
was
like,
a girls' night out. So
and it
what?
doesn't even, but here's the thing. There's no justification needed. Like, it's very, very clear what the issue is. If you're going that hard in the paint over somebody who is not your significant other, is not going to be in a position where you are going to ever have her as your significant other or anyone else in that group. And that's really the point. It's the part about the audacity. How dare you women go out and have a great time and be confident in your body, in your atmosphere, and post pictures about it? How dare you? Because I'm sitting over here feeling some type of way that I wouldn't be able to step to any one of you on my very best day, carrying an entire Hermes bag with $1 billion in it. I still would have no chance. So because I have no chance, I am going to get on my high horse and talk ish about you because I'm that insecure. Just know that for some of us who see exactly who you are, that's the subtext, because that don't even make any sense. It don't even make any sense.
On the phone, he was like, well, I didn't even know those women. I said, exactly. So don't speak on their character. And he's like, Claudia, you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Now I'm going to say that on my show. I said, Corey, I don't care if you think I'm one of the most beautiful women. Thank you. But like my thing was more about character. Don't equate a girl's night out wearing, I had a strapless, full length sequin gown. Okay. No one in that group deserved to be called a bitch or to be questioned about their ability to run a household. Gwendolyn was married 13 years. I think Tracy was married like 12, 13 years. Rada was married, I think 18 years. Now me, I was only married for a year, okay? But like to just like judge, can you stop, Kat? Judge women's ability to be their character based on an outfit one night. Oh my God, this cat. Stop.
Oh my God.
She's
Did she
tearing me
bite
up.
you?
Who sent you? Did Corey send you? It just was, and he was like, well, it's just content, CJ, the game. I'm like, so you're being fake?
Not calling you CJ while he.
Oh, no, he didn't say CJ. I'm just saying it. He's like, Claudia, it's just content, the game. And then, and then it became, well, you shouldn't be that sensitive. I'm not that sensitive, but I'm not going to let nobody play in my face.
Right.
When I've been good to you.
Right.
I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I've never, like, I could have said a lot of stuff about everybody on that panel, but I didn't. Like, I actually like these people. And I just feel like a girls' night out where we're not bothering anyone. Nobody went home with no one. Dr. Brian did not go home with Jeezy. No one screwed no one. We just went to a concert. We listened to trap music, dressed up. She had a lace bodysuit on. Her body's banging. And to get that, I just feel like the level of smoke was a bit much for what it was. And then
I think it's offensive and it's over the line when you have a relationship with somebody and you are so that's what you're going to do. Like, it's one thing to have commentary. It's something very different to call people out of their names. And also, I don't know, like, why people are always using marriage and your marital status in order to shame you as a woman. Like, how does that not go back and forth?
It's single men that don't have wives. It's single
I've been married for 9.5 years. I'm going to tell you very clearly, I do not think that makes a hierarchy and that makes me more important than women who aren't married. It's not a automatic, like, just like being unmarried or being single is not an automatic indictment on your character. Being married is not an automatic gold standard on yours either.
These men want us to feel bad, and anything they don't like that we do, they go, well, that's why you don't have a husband. That's why you can't have a man. The women that I'm with are very discreet about their lives, including myself. I have been put in this box for many years of can't get a man, lonely. When I went and got married and no one knew. So when I do have relationships, serious relationships in my life, I don't necessarily put them out there for y'all to talk about. I let y'all say all these things about she can't. It's almost, I won't say a good thing for marketing, but it's like y'all keep saying this stuff, right? But the man is the easiest thing to get in these streets. Any one of my friends could have had any one of those men in that show. Trust and believe.
Of
Trust
course.
and believe, right? A man is easy to get. Do we want you? Do we want that man? And some of us don't measure our success in life by whether we can get an embarrassing man that talks like that. I wouldn't even want someone that talks like that. But I just felt, again, you can do commentary, you can talk shit, you can have fun, and you can tell jokes, but please make them funny. And I don't know. I'm just like, I just thought that was a bit much. And I didn't want to like give this too much attention because I'm sure they'll clip some of this and it'll be, I'll be the biggest bitch tomorrow and blah, 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 blah. But I said what the fuck I said, and I'm not afraid of anybody on that panel. None of y'all can see me. None of y'all are better than me. None of y'all can fuck with me. None of y'all are happier than me, or you wouldn't be doing these kinds of shows, honestly. Like, we do a balance here of doing commentary where we can critique a situation, but we have never sat here for 2 hours and just dragged a few people personally and just drag their character and destroy them like that. We're not doing that. And then said, it's a joke. You can't take jokes. No, I think we have a nice balance. And I would just like more of that from others. I'm just sick of it. And I'm not going to, for many years, I just let people run their mouths about me and just, I'm take the high road. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing that energy in 2026. And I'm firing back. I'm firing back. And I've been very kind to a lot of people and biting my tongue with stuff that I know and that I could say. I had jokes too. Matter of fact, people that know from where I began, I started on a radio show that was very vicious. And I still have that skill set, but I don't want to do that. I just want people to just be a little bit more responsible with their commentary. And you can't say, I love Claudia Jordan, but, and then go on to say all these things. It just really pissed me off. And I just thought it was unnecessary. It was corny. And I think he's too talented a comedian to do lowbrow stuff like that. I think he could have made it funny, actually. And then we could have all laughed. Anyways.
Fair.
Oh, I'm sure this will be another week of it, Erica. Okay.
I did start that.
And then it was all week too. And then Tasha K got to lying about me, and then some other heifer. It was just like, oh my God, like people ran with that stuff. It was all over the place. Yeah, and again, New Year's Eve, I had a great time at the show. I met Gary Owen's fiance for the first time, as much as Tasha K lied and said that she was my friend and I somehow hooked them up and I was helpful in breaking up his marriage. Never happened. I met his fiance, I think her name is Bree, for the first time that night on the New Year's Eve concert in Dallas. So, bitch, get your story straight if you're going to speak on me, because my lawyers already contacted you before. Stop lying about me. And so let's clear it all up. And Sabrina, the other girl you talked about, is not my best friend. I don't even speak to her anymore. It's been over a year. So stop putting me in conversations with side chicks, because no one I hang with is a side chick. And if I did have any side chicks or girls that were willing to be that in my circle, they are out of my life. Peep my Instagram. Do you see any there? No, you don't. And if I did find out they're out of there. I don't hang with girls like that. So get your shit straight, bitch. Okay, moving on. Okay. That's going to be the energy of all 2026.
Hey.
I'm tired. Y'all already say the worst things about me anyways. Like, you've already said the worst things you could possibly say about someone. So what worse can you say? So what do I have to lose?
Honestly, Claudia, I think that you are speaking for a lot of people right now, because I think there is this thing where if you aren't someone who is going to respond to lobs and jabs and things being, thrown against you, it's the I'm going to take the high road thing, then it's almost an invitation to people to continue, because you become a safe spot to land. And I feel like whether you're a public figure or not, it really doesn't matter. I think a lot of people are feeling that energy in 2026 because they've realized that their silence and them taking the high road or their hyper empathy, all of these things are not rewarding. And it doesn't necessarily mean, like I've said a lot last year, at the end of last year, that empaths are in their villain era. it doesn't mean that people are like actively attacking people, but it's like people are meeting energy with energy.
I'm matching energy. I'm tired because I let a lot of things slide in my life, and it did not help me because there are people that you cannot tell them, you cannot convince them otherwise. And I'm a bad person. Like, no matter what you show them, they will still say she's this, she's that, she's this. I know she's a homewrecker. I've never wrecked a home in my life. I've never been one. I've never dated a married man. And I have friends that say we could never tell Claudia if we were, because she gets pissed, and I will lecture them. And then I had another friend that I don't rock with anymore that she said in LA, she said, you get blamed for the stuff we do. I said, well, bitch, speak up and say it's you, not me, because I'm tired of it. You know, I heard like all this stuff about I help with side chicks. I would never help a woman get cheated on. I would never help a man cheat on his wife. I would never help that. And if I have a guy friend, I talk them out of it. Don't come at me with that. Do not tell me. I am not a safe place for that. I don't like it. I'm not rocking with it. And I just had enough because this week was this first they dragging me about this dress, this wardrobe thing. Then it was this bullshit lie. This other heifer had to say. And it just was like back to back to back. And I'm just like, I strive for excellence. I lift other people up, women and men. I want to see us win. I have a sharp tongue, and I think that's what I get villainized sometimes. But it clearly hasn't been sharp enough. It's going to get sharper. I'm going to start using my superpowers, not for evil, but for justice, because I'm over it. And y'all, I'm strong. Y'all can. I expect tomorrow there'll be some YouTube videos of me. I'm used to it, so I expect it. So go ahead, say the things.
I'm for this Claudia Jordan wicked for good era.
Yeah, and a couple girls I used to hang with, I've been hearing they was like one of the girls I just mentioned running their mouths about me, like when I've been nothing but good to them. You know, I'm tired of women that get their money by being side chicks and mistresses, having anything to say about me and the way I make my money or whether I'm broke or not. When I have made every single dollar the hard way by working hard, no man's paying my bills. I never had to fuck with a married dude or have a guy pay my bills. I've worked my entire life. I worked so hard, so I never have to have that. You know what I mean? I never have to like bite my tongue and be with a kind of guy that I'm so not physically attracted to. And then I do side shit on the side. But I have that Birkin bag that I can flex on other women and think that I'm better than the next girl because a married guy that I fucked with or the guy that I mess with that I'm not attracted to bought me that. So then I can somehow look down my nose at a girl that doesn't have those things. But guess what I don't have? A guilty conscience. I have my conscience is so clear. I know I can go into rooms and there's no women there that can say, there's that bitch, she messed with my husband. No one can say that and be telling the truth. You know? So I just found out a couple girls I used to hang with that they've been cut out of my life, was running their mouths about me. So happy New Year, bitches. And just so you know, I'm not letting anything slide anymore. I'm not taking the high road with you hoes. I'm calling you out. I already sent one a nice long voice memo, and I hope it hurt your feelings. I'm sick of it. You're not playing my name or my friends' names that I know are good people anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's fuck you and fuck your feelings. If you come at me with that funny style energy, I'm not allowing it anymore, and I'm not staying quiet anymore, and I'm matching energy. Do we have another story? I think we have another.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yes, it is. Had to call me names. I was taking care of a man. I am broke and I ain't got this. I'm not rich. I am not rich. I will give you that. I'm rich in character, which you're poor in character. But I have been working. I am very proud of what I have done. And it's going to be even bigger and better this year. And again, I don't have to lay down with a man that I know I'm repulsed by. His body, his teeth, his age, spit in the corners of his mouth. I don't have to do that. I get to lay down where I want to lay down, where I'm attracted, not where I need you for survival to eat food. How about that? Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. I have receipts too. Keep playing with me. All y'all people, keep playing with me. This is C Murder now. Y'all had Claudia Jordan. You got C Murder now. Yes, I have all the time. I have time. Okay, moving on. Let's talk dating culture. Ooh, I'm gonna get talked about so bad this week, Erica. Oh my God.
You know what?
I'm used to
I
it
said
though.
Erica is shooketh. I'm not shooketh. Here's the thing, because I just want to make this very clear. Like, we started this podcast a year ago, well, over a year ago now, and we've been able to get to know each other better. And there is like this mythology about Claudia. I don't know what the genesis of, like, I know what Claudia gonna do. Claudia gonna be at the craps table. Claudia gonna be at home with her cats. Claudia is definitely gonna be in somebody's studio because she always working somewhere. And Claudia is gonna be on vacation, probably with Annie. I know all of those things. Like, I don't know Claudia to be anything.
They want me to be a bitch and a side chick and a colorist so bad. None of it is true. And you have these people that have an issue with you that happened 12 or 15 years ago, and they make 100 videos about you. Ma'am, are there any more other celebrities that maybe are bigger than me that could occupy your mind? I'm just saying. I'm flattered that you think I'm that big of a deal, but there's got to be somebody else. There's got to be. There had to have been some news since 2014 that has happened that should take your attention away from little old me, little old broke, irrelevant me. That's unattractive. You say I'm not that pretty. I got a witch nose. Okay, I receive that. I know I don't have the perfect nose. I got it from my grandma.
There's nothing wrong with
but
your
I'm just
nose.
saying, this person who
Your face has paid your bills your entire life.
This
So
person has the audacity, but I'm just addressing all of it. I told you I match energy. It's like there's got to be someone that's more famous than me. I hope that you can do content on after all these years. I know you like me mentioning you. I'm not ever saying your name, but you know who you are. It's like it's upset. It's weird. It's like it's very weird at this point to just focus on me so hard. I'm like, I've done a lot in my career, but not that much for you to still, like, I shouldn't be on your mind every day. Every day. My name is crazy. Like it's nuts. Okay, back to this relationship, dating culture. Okay, because apparently having a boyfriend now is embarrassing. Vogue originally dropped the article, and social media is full of hot takes about women hiding their relationships, not posting their man, and calling single life peace. Erica, is this self-protection, or are people just tired of explaining why their man is trash? And when did being happy quietly become the move? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Shantae Joseph, who is the writer of that piece. She is a Black woman. She's a writer, and the piece was in British Vogue. She's from the UK. Amazing. And she's writing a follow-up because this has gone so viral. I think women just feel like they're not in a safe space because, one, you're not ever going to have control over a man and what he decides to do. So I think that we're so used to seeing women be embarrassed by their partner. But the other part of it too is that a lot of women don't post their significant others because they're aware that other women are also going to be very interested in potentially replacing that situation. And that's not to say that it takes away the power of choice from your partner, but it certainly is something that if you want to protect and keep it sacred, I really don't see a problem with people not posting their partner. I personally don't post my husband that often because in my position, I don't want our relationship to become the commodity. And I've seen how quickly that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't in a position where we want to, and I'm not saying anything negative about people who choose to, be on social media with their partners, and that's like a part of their business and brand, but it's not a part of our business and brand. And I don't want to have that reflected that way. And that's the main reason why I don't post. But I understand, like, I really do understand based on all of the stories that we cover and how it's always the women who are vilified for the actions of the men. So yes, I can see how women are feeling like having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
And I love posting like happy moments. Like I especially love like, but you don't really see a lot of like black love in the media. You really don't, right? And or especially black women being loved properly and publicly and loudly. So like when I do want to like shout it from the rooftops, but then if for some reason it doesn't lead down the path of marriage and down the aisle, something's wrong with you. If the relationship ended, it's your fault, and you couldn't hold down a household and all this stuff, and something must be wrong with your vagina, or all these things. And yeah, there's a lot of villainization. And also, I've had some healthy breakups where timing or just for whatever. And I'm glad, like, it's almost like you want to protect that person if you still care about them. Also, like when you're with me, like, well, if this goes left, I could see people kind of saying negative stuff about you. So let me just protect you. But I wish there was a safe place where we could just like loudly and proudly post the people that are making us happy. You know what I mean? Like, I let people just think whatever. And some days there's been people that I've talked to where I just wouldn't show anything. And I just let people sit there and think that I'm just so lonely and I'm just home with cats all the time, when that absolutely wasn't the case. But I just know how fast these people can turn on you. So y'all ain't gonna know nothing about me. Y'all gonna keep on thinking I'm just sleeping with cats, can't get a man, as pretty as I am, and fun and successful and good in bed and good at cooking. If y'all really believe that myth that I can't get a man, that's on you. But I will probably just really keep things secret for a very long time, because the man that I will deal with will have a lot to lose also. And Anthony Joshua and I right now don't want to go public. We just want to keep it amongst, private between us. And, when that day comes to make the announcement, then we will.
I love that. I can't wait for that day. I will scream it from the rooftops, okay? I'll be the town crier.
But yeah, I do get wanting to share good news, Okay, so because I went on some rants, we're not getting to everything. So I'm sorry about that. Should we not do the friend group thing? Or what do you think? Do we need to wrap?
I don't, is Megan yelling at us? Our poor producer, Megan Rosales, we love you. Are we in trouble? Megan's like, rap. Oh, dating story. Oh no, that was a long time ago. Has she given up on us?
Yeah, she's given up on us. Okay. Well, we'll talk about the leaving toxic friend group. Well, I kind of did address toxic friend groups a while ago. And I'm not putting up with toxic. I'm only rocking with people that rock with me and that are nice and cool and sweet. And you can give constructive criticism, but what you not do is shame me and make me feel bad about myself. And I'm not going to do that I don't think you do it to a friend.
No, you do it that's what ops do. And at the end of the day, if you got to trust your gut and your nervous system. If you are walking in, or if somebody calls you, texts you, you're walking into a social situation and it doesn't feel right, Claudia Joshua, it affects your nervous system. That is your indication right there. And I don't care what the relationship is or how long the relationship has been going on. You know in your gut when someone is only around you because they want to humble you. You know in your gut when someone's around you because they want to emulate every single thing that you do and then pass it off as their own. You know when someone's around you because they like your lifestyle and they like the fact that you're a generous person and they want to take without any reciprocity. You know what it's like. You know the feeling. So that is my thing for 2026. Do not drag toxic relationships in any capacity along with you. You choose yourself always, because when you choose yourself, you will never lose. End of discussion.
That part right there. Yeah. And I'm choosing violence in 2026. Verbal violence all this year. And then we'll go back to peace in 2027. But 2026, sorry, y'all made me this. I was nice and y'all didn't like that. And it wasn't effective. So I'm choosing violence. Do not call me Claudia CJ anymore. Call me C Murder with the AH at the end. All right. Before we go, informers, real quick, if you've ever missed an episode, now's your chance to catch up. Accidentally Informed has multiple episodes streaming on In the Black Network, including some classics you may have missed. And yes, our Denver live show with the amazing Dustin Ross is up there too. You can catch that there. And that's the only place you can watch that episode. So please act accordingly. That's it for this week, Informers. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Erica, it was good venting with you today. I'm sorry I talked so much today, but I was going through a depression with all this like attack. And I was like, and someone was in my ear like, Claudia, we want you to not respond to things. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Then today I was like, nah, fuck that. No, I'm doing what makes me feel good. And right now this made me feel awesome.
Well, I'm glad that you feel good and I'm glad you got it off your chest. I hate that the words and like the attacks, because they're so pervasive, it gets to you. I hate that. I really don't like to see that. And I want, it's like anytime somebody's getting piled on for any reason, I do not like to see that. And especially when it's someone like you and you're my friend and I love you and I think the world of you. And I don't think that you deserve that type of ridicule and dragging in the internet streets. I really don't. So, I mean, I see it for what it is. Like in terms of like I'm seeing through what's happening. But I can understand that being on the other end of that is very difficult. And I'm sorry that you're going through that.
Thank you. Again, if I did the things that they want to put on me, that's one thing if it was true. But also when it's fake, it's like you're like, wait, no, I'm getting judged off something I didn't really even do with someone slanting a story or remixing some stuff or just, doing too much. And that's frustrating. I'm like, I'm tired of explaining myself. I really am. It's so exhausting, Erica. It is so exhausting. But no, you're wrong. That's not right. I'm tired. So fuck all of it. How about that?
Hey.
All right. Well, I'll be in Miami tomorrow. I gotta go film some stuff. And I'll be there for the weekend. We will be back next week. Maybe we'll have a guest. Who knows? Maybe one of the people I talked about tonight will want to be on our show. We'll see. Anyways, it's been Accidentally Informed. Tell a friend about our show. Spread the word. And we'll see you next time. Bye, Erica.
Bye.
Thank you.
Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.